Supreme, yo. You already know the vibes. It's Naga. See the title right there? The title says I have a problem with something and I want to talk about it. I ain't gonna put the sound on it. You know Kala, right? I don't know if y'all can see this right here. Let me see. It's not really. It's not showing up. Let me see. Can I get it? I don't know if I can get it. Yeah, there we go. A little turn right there. Kala was talking about the response he got from the sister right there, right? And I would play it, but it's kind of long and drawn out. But his comment is, children, they can care less about you. This is a money grab, a money thing, not value, appreciation, and respect things. Sunblood, star seeds, stem cells, star family DNA, neuromelanin, I am black, genetics. Shout out to Kalai, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was going to talk about this shit the other day, but I guess he had like a firsthand experience and what that looks like, right? So, you know, people who lack certain levels of knowledge, they only respond for what their agenda is. So when you're not intelligent enough, you still trying to get what you want out of the situation. That's all. That's basically all that is. Like, you just want what you want. You don't have any intelligence. You don't have any know-how. And once, and especially with a child's mind, it's easily to manipulate children or younger people. So younger people now have this thing to where they've traded in respect for finances. So they're not going to respect their elders. They're not going to have the attention span to actually listen to a whole conversation to get the understanding of what's actually taking place. They're not going to have that. They're going to dismiss you with the value of having, and this is something that I saw, this is something that I see within certain particular avenues and conversations that people have. Like, what they'll do is they'll talk to you until they comprehend that the value of finances is not involved, right? Sidebar. They are having conversations online, hoping that certain crowds of people will gravitate to them and nourish that energy. So they're not talking to you. When they get online, they're not talking to you. They're not speaking directly to our culture. They're not speaking to the elders. They're not speaking to other people like us. They're speaking to people who are going to subsidize the feeling of how they feel about circumstances and situations. That's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? This is why they undermine what they come from, because now they have subsequently seen the outcome of man being somewhat of a god, right? The reason why you depend on man so much, the reason why you like, well, I'll just go to this person and put them before you. Every time you put something before what you create, you are showing that thing that is not important. So this is how people in the world are right now. This is what everybody's doing. Everybody named mama, from elders to children, they choosing inanimate objects off the fact that you're gonna grow and carry the legacy. After they go and they had a little bit of fun or whatever, and they dead and gone, they don't give a shit about the fact that you got to pick up the pieces. It's because they're not intelligent enough to understand what's really going on today. So they're being played as a catalyst. Most people are being played as a catalyst to disrupt the energy, right? So if I can get you to do this, you make it easier for the oppressor on the next system. Keep in mind, you're going to be up out of here. You're going to be up out of here. Shout out to Gwitty. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be up out of here. People don't be comprehending this shit. Like, it's always a soda for somebody. You know what that means? Let me get you a soda. Shout out to the battle rapper. Be like, I'm going to get you a soda. Yo, you know, that it was like the firest entendre I ever heard, because people are satisfied when you put something cold and sweet in their hand. Cold and sweet. Some cold cash. It was sweet how I got it, though. See, the metamorphosis of how the values are interpreted to keep you in some form of dynamicism is immaculate. is immaculate, and you'll definitely side with it watching what you come from. Like, yo, you ain't worth, you ain't nothing, but it's you. Everything you come from is the same as you. So then they over there talking that fly shit like, yeah, nah, this is what I'm, how you for that? You're an idiot. The biggest, like, and you cannot run back after it's said and done. You can't run back when you realize they just wanted to take you out. You can't run back after you realize you was getting played. You can't run back and say, please save me, when they pulling you in the mud and you getting drugged down. This energy is something different, yo. Like, I don't know whether y'all comprehend it or not, but there is levels to this understanding of degradation, this breakdown. And you know, it's just like if you looked at a wood chipper, right? It's like the small parts, or you put a piece of the wood in the wood chipper, it done ate that up. You still got to push the rest of it through. You know, the intoxication of a false value is like, well, one day I can be that. Not after they comprehend it. I'm going to give y'all a jewel real quick. After one thing is new and the world replicates that new idea, it is no longer the same value of divinity. It's gone. It's because everybody trying to be it. And in their mind, they chasing crack. And you know what the crack they chasing? That high off them looking at you be in that light initially when it first came. So they like, yo, I can take that and put that on. Look how good it looks on them. After you take it off, it's no longer the same. It don't even get the same effect. Whether that's a character, a t-shirt, some shit, it don't get the same effect, yo. That's just what it is. And this is what the brother Kala was dealing with. Like, he was agreeing with the shorty and trying to build with her, and she blocked him. And she blocked him from commenting, you know what I'm saying? But it was a sister on top of that. Like, yo, look, she was like, I ain't trying to hear you. I'm trying to shop my value to what I know, the people who gonna give me finances. Because that's all I think I need to be strong. Keep in mind, this is the creational aspect of being weak. So everything she doing is going in that weakness standpoint. Because after she's done doing what she's doing, it's gonna be nobody to turn to. It's going to be nobody there that's going to say, yo, you know what? I hear you. And then the ones that do pick it up is going to strip it off. I like to say Henrietta lacks it. They're going to take every cell out of that shit. They're going to strip every cell out of it. Down to nothing. The true powers that be, you'll never see them. You know what I'm saying? But because they set things in motion, they use weaker pieces that they can control as a piece in order to make things solidified as the particular value. What is the value? In control of whatever the retrospect that they're trying to reach. And one thing got nothing to do with the next. This is a fact. Everybody plays these same particular roles. You're only happy when you're receiving, and if it has nothing to do with the growth of everything, and you're not subsidizing that notion, then you're not even receiving, because divine says it has to follow. Everything has to go in the same retrospect. So whenever you self-serving, you've taken yourself out of the line. Literally, you've told divine, I'm not strong enough to keep this creational aspect that you gave me power to control. I can't keep that going. I'm going to make the wrong decisions. I'm going to choose myself. I'm going to back out on them. I'm going to back out on them, and I'm going to serve. Divine said, at what place? Where? That's what you're going to do? All right, watch this. And you start watching changes happen that you never even, you like, wow, something's changing. Something's happening. Yeah, you about to check up out of here, player. That's what you about to do, sweetheart. You about to check up out of here. I don't make this up. I just watched it 1,000,001 times. Everybody at some point tries to oversee the divine. Like, you follow the divine up until a certain point, and then you following the divine without even the understanding of purity. Like, you keep forgetting that this is a reconception of everything. Right? It's a reconception of everything. So everything that was deconcepted, that was pushed apart, vocally, spiritually, visually, everything that was slang to the west, First thing your people try to do is go run to here. Let me help your own ish first. Put your own stuff to where it's growing. But you know, as a culture, we be the first ones to be like, look at ours. They ain't worth nothing. No, you ain't worth nothing because you ain't did what you're supposed to do to make sure they understand that shit. I did all that. You ain't did nothing. If you can give up before it's over, you ain't did enough because divine ain't never gave up on you. Divine gives you a light to carry that you carry every day that you use to keep your ass lying, to keep your ass manipulating, to keep you being weak, to keep you with a game plan. All that energy is supposed to be usurped into you personally looking at what you create and watching it surpass you. Because that carries your lineage. And not for nothing, if something comes in the pathway of what you doing for what you doing to keep yours going, you're supposed to subsidize that energy because divine said, I ain't gonna give you nothing that's too hard that you can't handle. So we all get a chance sometimes to stand in front of other people that we don't even know. And you know what they need? That knowledge that you got at the moment. But sometimes you standing right where you need to be and won't do nothing. You sorry, yo. You sorry people. This is a fact. But because you know a level of knowledge or you think you know something, see what I'm saying? Like, yo, and what's crazy is this shit really disturbs me a little bit because oppression has taught people. Oppression. So when you was embarrassed, when you didn't have nothing, when other people had stuff around you and that was all that was there, that's what taught you how to be what you think you are today. And that's your ceiling. That's as high as you can go as far as a level of intelligence. You can only go as far as the dirt that was around you holding you back. That's powerful, yo. That's powerful. Even to have that as a retrospective thinking, like, yo, I think I'm intelligent because I do the same thing that the same people did to me while I was here. So I look at that as a form of mastery, of mental mastery of what? You a slave master. And they stupid. They didn't have no understanding on anything. So then the retrospective value of control manifested through that. It's like, you know what? This is what propagates the country. So this is what everybody chose to be like. No matter what the reality is, what everybody chose to be like. Everybody like, yeah, you know what? That's the way to do it. I gotta chase this. You know, intelligence is one of the most finite things that exist in the universe, and not for nothing, to actually have intel on mastery of your feelings inside of you and the effect of what someone's trying to do outside of you to make that take place is where your mind's supposed to spark new ideas at. Y'all don't do that. Y'all followers to the 10,000th degree. Like, you know what I'm saying? They be like, they got a house, a car, and and I want that too. It's always, I want what they have, not the comprehension of how to make it yourself. And then the work you do is sloppy. Y'all all over the place. Like, you don't have no contingency to actually put shit in a straight line and line it up for your own circumstance. Nah, you too busy self-serving. And you think that's intelligence. Or if we be quiet long enough, look, that was how that was the fear that they put on the slaves. Like, they beat the slaves into submission. So they started telling people that your silence is your protection. Don't say nothing. If you start talking, then they're gonna know it. They even got it to where the loudest person in the room is not the one to be feared. You know why? Because that's outspokenness. And they would kill that nigga in slavery days. They would make an example out of him in front of everybody else. So then all the other slaves were silent. They'll just sit there and look at you and like, I ain't saying nothing. And they got used to one person out of the slave group standing up saying, I ain't taking this. That one person had enough heart to stand up against the slave master, even if he was going to die. And the rest of them sat back and ain't said nothing. And that's where they developed that whole energy of silence. It's fear. They try to tell you, oh, silence is where your strength is as long as you don't say nothing. They only saying that to the retrospect of them losing other brothers and sisters. Like, let's kill them niggas because they talk too much. Oh, you a smart nigga? Let's kill them. And then so the rest of your people that solidified in that thought pattern, they was weak as hell. They didn't stand up and fight. They sat back and grabbed the tree, pulled the chains close, and was like, oh my God, they killing Big John. they killing somebody. It's a fact. So then it became, don't say nothing, because if you talk, they're going to do you like they did Big John. As a fact. Fear. Fear is what puts people into these ways of being. Fear. So at the end of the day, they're not really beefing with you. They beefing with the fact that they don't have no self-control over themselves. They're not the one controlling anything. They're trying to be like what controlled their existence. See, plans manifest through its own action. The plan manifests through its own action. There's so many different types of people in the world. Okay? There's so many different types of people in the world. But watching Kalai go back and forth with the sister and she just dub him like that, that's because she ain't trying to hear him. Hierarchy states the value that you're supposed to listen to what you come from first. But what you come from ain't supposed to be subjected to nothing other than, right? So this is why they said ye are all gods. They are made in our image. There were different creational aspects that created smaller versions of itself. But ultimately, there's an almighty over all things. All praise due to all praise due to the Most High Creator over all creators and creations. Nah, they wanted to have a singled out piece of reality. I'm talking about the powers that be. Yeah, the powers that be. This is what they do. They control two parties. They control two parties on a mental level, and they sit back staking intelligence while they're degrading everything. But then they tell you, you know what we're going to do for you? This is what we're going to allow you to do. And you sit there and be like, allow me? Oh, you shallow as hell and you stupid. At the end of the day, if another man can allow you to do something at the cost of you hurting your family, friends, or whatever, you stupid, yo. Your soul is washed already. Divine got your big plans for you already. Ain't no outs for you. Ain't no outs for you. You walking around worrying about the wrong thing. You need to be worrying about your soul, because you know what I heard about oblivion? What is it? Oblivion, eternity. Some entities are afraid of that because they don't like getting ripped apart for forever. You know what I'm saying? Like having each and every piece of you ripped apart for eternity until there's nothing. Like imagine having it ripped off slow with the most excruciating pain, and then as it's getting ripped off slow, it's going into nothing. So the last memory you remember is the fact of you being taken apart that way. It's because of your heinous thoughts in connection to what you're supposed to be connected to. You know, like having pain without having it solved, or having pain without having it healed. So like you're stuck in that excruciating universal pain like for a long time, and then that piece just goes away. So it don't stop. It just continues slowly. This is oblivious. This is oblivion. Just getting thrown into oblivion, into nothing, until you become that. And then all your thoughts only remember that as an action of everything multiplied by 100 million, right? Let's give it the worst, right? Ultimately, this is how you create different infractions inside of a culture. You create these infractions. You know what I'm saying? Like inside of our culture, like they start to believe that that's the way out for them. They're like, yeah, I'm going to go this way because this is what I can get if I be like these people. If I stab or take or put my people in a certain, who gives you an understanding like that's some crazy issue? That's crazy. For you to even digest that too, to be like, yeah, so if I shit on what I'm like, I can come up in the world. If I just dub you and push you to the side, I can come up in the world. If I treat you like you're not as important, that's going to make me that much better. For you to have a thought like that in its own action is insane. You have already went so far past the value of sin with that thought alone. Sin is not the problem with you. Sin ain't the problem with you at that point. When you have agreed to literally treat your own this way, sin is not the problem with you at that point. You have invited other things inside your world that has you in the worst unoriginal aspect of reality. And it's not about what will, how will. It's almost like, when. And that's where the real secrets lie at. You know what I'm saying? That's where the real, what you trying to find out, what you think you want to know about what divine doing and all. That's where it's at. It ain't got nothing to do with the person. It's listen, and I've said this shit 1,000,001 times. What I learned from people is not the fact of why you would do this to me. No, what I learned from you is how far you willing to go to do something to me. Especially if I'm not doing anything to you. I'm not even attempting to have anything done to you. Even after you've done so much to me and I still haven't done anything, that should make you question. See, sometimes people think the level of intelligence gives them the value to be able to speak. No, it doesn't. Intelligence don't give you the value to speak. Intelligence is supposed to let you know how far you went and when you were supposed, how far you went too far and when you probably should have pulled back. That's what intelligence really does. It makes you shut your mouth. It makes you stop doing things you're not supposed to do. That's what intelligence really does. It keeps you in line with where you come from and what you're supposed to respect. That's what intelligence really does. It helps you teach other things how to stand in that notion to move. But see, you got creations in this world that hate their life. They mad because they didn't receive something at a certain time and they go through life carrying this particular energy for the rest of their life. You know, the people that got, oh, I was born this way, so I got to torture people for the rest of my life. Oh, they didn't care about me, so I'll make sure ain't nobody else going to get this. Not the fact that you see certain things that it didn't work at a certain time when you existed and say, well, you know what, times are better now. Maybe I can make sure that what they trying to get, they receive. See, these energies don't exist in the right dynamic. They're going to wash over everybody. Every motherfucker going to get this problem at some point. I was telling my homeboy the other day, like, yo, I got to pat you in the back. Forget Remy Ma and Papoose. You and your wife is the symbol for black love for me. Y'all been through everything and ain't had nothing. And your kids still had everything. I was there. I was there when he might have made a joke about another woman. And I said, nah, nigga, tighten that up. You got a whole family right here. Nah, you right. And I love what I got. I'm going to stand on that. Brother brought tears to my eyes plenty of times just by watching him be what it's supposed to be with nothing. I watched this brother and his wife with nothing. And they got plenty of kids, like 6 or 7. I watched them with nothing and still be loving. I was homeless in the street. Family ain't want to do nothing. Nobody gave I'm laying on concrete. My brother made sure I got a box of food, yo. He was like, I don't know how you gonna do XYZ, but this gonna get you through. And I knew they ain't had nothing. It's about to make me cry, yo. I knew they ain't had nothing. It's a fact. You know, when you see that real power, it ain't about the knowledge. It ain't about what you say. It's about what you can deal with in the worst of times and how you pull through that the same way you went in it. Like, everybody got the best plan to look how they want to look, but nobody want to struggle. Even if you had the opportunity to not have no struggle, divine seen fit for that. So who comes in between what's yours and what's not theirs? And then y'all justify it talking about, oh, what somebody doing. I don't give a damn what nobody trying to do. They gonna get washed. All praises due. Let the will of the divine be done. I'm so serious. You don't win like that in life. You don't win living wrong. You don't win stabbing what you are in the back. It don't work like that. And the world is changing into this energy that we think that it's okay to agree with that. Y'all sit back and y'all laugh and y'all point and y'all saying, yeah, we're doing this to what we are. Let's get something. And that's your strength. That's the strength you use to lift yourself up as a better man. Lying, stealing, and manipulating. Cheating, stabbing your people in the back. That's your strength that makes you a man. You will know them by their actions in the end of the days. You will know them by their actions in the ending days. They will not be fulfilled by anything. They will eat and still be hungry. They will eat like kings and still be hungry. I don't make this up. You can see it, yo. This and what's I got the goosebumps just now. What's even deeper than that? A lot, and I used to wonder back in the day, I used to be like, how divine said, if you come back to me, you'll speak scripture. It didn't hit me until like about a month ago. When you are really walking that path, the scripture comes from the actions of others. You start seeing what they do in real time, be like, yo, that's crazy. That ended up being a passage. That ended up being a passage previously. Now we seeing through time and space, because now I can see what was being said this long ago that you're doing in real time. I don't have to go read to do that. I don't have to do it. I'm watching you do something heinous. It's so easy to pick out the worst characters of a person. It's so easy to watch you be what you're not. You know, we was the love of the earth. We was the heartbeat of the earth. Everywhere you went, you see melanated people. And when they came to the land, we gave food, love, rest, happiness. We gave that naturally because it was in abundance. It was in abundance. And it was never a lack of people. There's always been billions of people on the earth. But I got to state this fact. Even if you go stay the night at somebody's house, right? You got friends and shit. You go to their house. That's still their house. You might play the game with them. You might eat the same spaghetti. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might sleep in the same room, but he got the bed, you got the floor. You had a cup of Kool-Aid, he had a cup of Kool-Aid. Y'all both had candy, but you going home tomorrow. Back to your house. So you can't go up in his house and start delegating how you want things to go. That was always the problem. You can stay the night. Man, you can use the rivers. You can anything you want, it's yours too. We can share. They was like, nah. And this comes directly from something. This is like a direct correlation. Like, nah, this is like saying the oceans is the oceans. Well, I'm about to go in the ocean for well. Let's see you. I want to see how long you can hold your breath. See, when there is not too many differences, right, that would stop you from being on a landmass, it starts to go up for grab, right? What's up for grab? Why is that even a thing? People don't ask the right question. I tell y'all, the powers that be have controlled everyone. You don't even know who the powers are because they don't want to take accountability. So they falsely put power on other things to make them feel like they're empowered, just so you can have something to follow. When in fact, you are what's being followed. That's yours too. Oh, naturally. Let's separate the scientific value. Let's separate the physical value. Let's separate the notion of accountability, not accountability. Let's separate the notion of what is it? I'm tipping my tongue right now. When everything is for you. What is it like? You think oh God, yo, come on, man. Come back to me. Forget it. It'll come back when it's ready. But most people look from the outside in and they say, oh, you're getting this, you're getting that. This is yes, because it was supposed to be given to them. You don't get to come in from the outside and say, well, I think I deserve portions of that. You wasn't there at the birth of this person. You don't know what the life of this person. You're just judging from the outside. Where'd that energy come from? Where the energy that came into this earth looked at what you were receiving and said, I think I should have that. Where'd that come from? It came from other cultures doing it, right? Being taught that when descendant came down and had to sit here and said, nah, you can grow here, you can live, you can eat the fruits, you can live in the water, but this land is theirs. This place is theirs. This system was built for them, but it's a growing ground. It gives you the opportunity to be somewhere where you don't have the turmoils of what almost destroyed your whole everything at one point. So here, this is where you can be, and we're going to leave and we'll come back. This is energy they talking about. Because see, all energies are not able to connect with the understandings when it's diminished. So the energies that would allow us to speak to things out of this world is low right now. They had to divide that to give other things energy to live. This is not a plot or a plan or some big man talking about I'm stronger than divine. Nah, the universe is fair. The story of Superman, they gave it to you in the most romanticized aspect. Nah, you had people in another system that was being destroyed by their solar system. And they had to come somewhere. I'm talking about time before time. This ain't even shown to you in no books. These people came here and they needed somewhere to be. And they said, you can be here in alignment with this. They was like, wow, all of this is theirs. We didn't even have this on our planet. It's a fact. So they developed envy, jealousy, and everything else. When I get out of here, when I get back to a place for us, think about this. It's the same thing you feel every day with money. If I can just get enough. If I can just get past this, I can do this. All those feelings was impressed on you. They was impressed on you. And not for nothing, if I deprive you from everything, make you work and all this because it's being done, wow, we got to work. I don't even like this place because you don't live here. You need to build for yourself. That's why you have to have indentured servitude. But it wasn't the value of what. So they're like, you got to go through the same thing too then. Why? It's my house. See, we talking about a story that nobody want to talk about. Y'all want to talk about the semantics in the middle. No, what happened is a culture's planet was destroyed. Their system was destroyed. They had to come somewhere. This is the closest place they can get to. They got here. It was already inhabited. Just like that's why they tell you it's no new story under the sun. So the characteristic traits that was built off the value of what y'all call so-called hate was based off somebody else's interpretation of how they perceived everything that they was dealing with. So when they got pushed to the back, because keep in mind, that time they was talking about the energy filling up and something came back, it already happened. That caused the war. That war was the war between divine beings and which I want to call reptilians. This happened a long time ago, like so long. And the reptilians were eating people. So divine said, I'm taking your tongue. I'm taking your digestive system. Right? You think I'm lying? Go look. You can look on the walls in Africa. I don't make this up. I just study it. Sometimes I see it in dreams, whatever. Took the mouths from these entities, closed their mouths. So now they're only feeding off your energy. The world started changing. It was like, yo, how are we going to eat off the energy? So then they started doing things to aggress the value, lack thereof, of what they were in. So now I have to make you like me. Oh, you like this? You can have this for this. This is where that came from. Before we had a barter and trade system, or I would just give it to you because I had abundance. Keep in mind, it was already given to me by the universal pretense. So I would grow, and it would grow in abundance. The minerals in the soil allowed things to multiply by 10. So when I would have it, I had more than enough for myself. So I would give it to everything in society, and society felt the need to give back. This is where the love was. It wasn't a barter and trade system. We was doing our own thing, and I was able to give because I had abundance. See, when you don't know the truth, you just don't know nothing. You think it's an argument against this and that. It's not an argument about this and that. You have a certain entity that used this and that to go against each other so they didn't have to take accountability, knowing that they don't even eat flesh. They can't eat what's on the earth. They can't eat because they're not from here. They live literally off of your energy. You have two energies. One energy that goes upwards and one energy that goes down. These frequencies have weight. Okay, now when you get older and you pass away, this energy you've been sending up because you've been high vibrational, it opens up a portal, literally, that nobody can see. Only thing can see it is your third eye. It's your pathway. It's your road. So when you die, that's where your soul goes, straight through there, home. But you're not doing enough here to open it up, so you get trapped here. Blue skies. You wearing black when you dead. You supposed to be wearing blue. It's a fact. Everything has a connection to the real value, but nobody don't know nothing. Everybody thinks it's about me. They doing this because of me. No, you're controlled by what got controlled by its own anger. This is why the demon ended up being in you, because it was a deep-seated energy inside entities that they didn't like feeling, and they created in their own mind because they didn't have a home. They didn't have a God. They didn't have a home. They didn't have a spiritual nothing. They didn't have an existence. It was gone. So now they're watching everything that you have that they were supposed to have. That developed a level of hate. So that war was already answered for. They won a round two. Nothing defeats the Almighty. Nothing. Never, ever will. They won a round two, so they want to fight you. So they said, you know what? We can't even get in that fight. We're going to make them fight each other and be left with the remnants. Whatever's left, we'll rebuild from that. They'll kill each other. We'll take the younger part of them and make them feel as if they were over the older ones. They throw it right in your face. Young against old. Father against son. Mother against daughter. They throw it in your face. They just broke it down. I could go even more deeper, yo, like, and to demolish the whole everything. But the thing is, yo, What you can't fathom, you won't comprehend. That's why they don't get it. What you can't fathom, you won't comprehend. And you're sitting there, I'll just be quiet. No, you're stupid. You don't got the wherewithal to stand up for nothing. You've already been indoctrinated. It's so crazy. Like, you already been indoctrinated and you still trying to scratch a plan. You know what I'm saying? Already been indoctrinated. You still trying to scratch a plan. You said, I'm going to figure out to do something. How? How? And I bet you who listening to this going to be like, yo, he talking about black and white. That's how I know you stupid. You ain't hear nothing I said. And that's what it does. It literally pulls you like that. It pulls you and makes you say, it must be this. You got to pay real close attention to what I just said to you. If you really listening to what I just said, you're going to be like, yo, he just blew the lid off shit. He just told us something that nobody talking about. I'm telling you the beginning. I'm not talking about no Adam and Eve, none of that shit. I'm telling you a story that actually exists. It's a real story. Real physical war, yo. That's where the concept of war actually came from. Do you think people ever seen fighting in some form before it was like that? You're only going to follow your parents. So when literally the time for the egg was already supposed to hatch. The earth was already supposed to hatch a long time ago. What if somebody told you, right, that the first earth was two beings balled together constantly making it? It's just a universal concept. Two beings together constantly making it. And as they stayed in one lock of being together for eternity, things was birthed on them all over the place. Just came out. Boom, 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 boom. It was birth. You had popped out of here, popped out. This shit was coming out of everywhere. Births. This is before anything happened. Before turmoil happened. Before other systems got blowed up and they had to come find a place to be. So when they died like that. High vibrational, the whole entity turned to a core and it coalesced over it. So that became the compressed core inside the earth. So that energy kept replicating its value, right? Until it started growing in between heavens and earth. Stability in existence. Stability in existence. How far it can stretch. It's eons. It constantly keeps growing that way. That's why they say you had a tree that connected from one and went to the next. That's like a phallus going into a womb. They said we cut the tree down. Yeah, they chopped the phallus off the Egyptian king. These stories, they always replicate. They constantly replicate in different manners. It has to find a stability point. Nobody listens. Nobody hears anything. Y'all just trying to comprehend what you're being told. And you love that. You love that. You'll bow down before you stand up. I hate weak shit. I really do. I hate weak people. I really do. It bothers me. Like, you're just weak. Because you'll bend for anything. You don't stand on nothing. That's just what it is. You will attack your own because it's comfortable for you. I can easily get there. Why do you think they tell you your family be the first to ish on you? Because they know you already, and they be the ones who readily is easily manipulated. I can manipulate what's next to you faster than somebody who don't know you because they don't know you. But once somebody who's next to you that think they know something about you, I can put things of value in front of them and they'll sit there and decide whether or not they want to do it because naturally they think they know you. That's what Divine said about inherent evil. They're going to do wrong things anyway. I don't make this stuff up, yo. I'm telling you, yo, like it's yo, to have intelligence is a powerful thing. I go inside and I sit still on my throne because it's my throne inside of me. I'm a king of myself, a king of me. You are a king and a queen of yourself. But keep in mind, people ask to be ruled. You asked for a kingdom. You asked for somebody to help us. We need a king, somebody to save us. The swamp monster is coming. The rock people are throwing stones. The mud people are coming out of the earth. We need a king, a savior, the light. So they adorned a person in gold and jewels and made him look bigger than what it was. Since the beginning of time, you always wanted somebody that shined because you remember the light coming down the first time, abolishing all the reptilian forces that came here in the beginning. We call them reptilians. They just another culture, yo, at the end of the day. But I think they might have came from a close planetary system. It might have been when Jupiter was changing, or one of the, like, it might have been that place over there, yo. But not for nothing, creation is just create. Like, you don't know what creations are around you in the full totality. And not for nothing, this experience that took place here was an example for other things going through what they go through right now. So not for nothing, if you got some information going out there, some of them don't want to come, and some of them are coming, but they only looking at like, yo, look what happened to the Aramarians. Look what happened to the Ungunku that came from here. Look what happened to the Bamboodus. They dead. They dead, and they got used up. They even wearing their body parts. I don't know if I want to go there. I'm terrified of these things because the universal energy in the universe is unconditional love. It's not fisticuffs. It's not fisticuffs. But you got to keep in mind, like I said, this energy comes from something else. It comes from something else first. That's the aggression that you feel inside of you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you feel inside yourself. Like, yo, I'm aggressed to a value. I bet if we beat it to death, it'll go away. That's animalistic, right? That's what animals do. That's what animals do. You know what I'm saying? A chimpanzee will grab something and beat it on the ground until it's dead. They keep swinging it because it's not them. They will beat it until it's dead. So your reactions are based off what? Not a sane mind. Your reactions is based off being animalistic. Oh, we can just get rid of it. How do you say that about you? People lose their sensibility and reality based off what they should be choosing. I'm sorry, duh. Who are you? I want to join the call. Can you please put the link? I mean, I want to do a lot of things in life, but I just don't go talk to people I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, not for nothing. I need to know who you are, duh. DA. Before I said, sure, you can come up here and talk. I'm not so eager to have people in my space, especially if I don't know their energy. So you just came out of left field, DA, and left field where you will stay. So anyway, so most of the stories are fabricated and out of the value of making sure you don't know this or remember this. We will have fun talking. I am bored. We can talk. That doesn't tell me who you are, though. Don't you like to know who you're speaking to? Like, if somebody called my phone, I'm not just going to tell my whole life story. I need to know who I'm talking to first. And DA is not enough for me to have a conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be the same person that had the name Sad yesterday trying to get on here with a different profile as far as I know. Like, it really don't matter. Like I said, if I don't know you, I'm not, in a rush to say, come on up here and talk. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. With that being said, this is the type of particular energies that exist and that most people don't get a chance to see. You know what I'm saying? Because it's covered over by false rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? And They don't want these stories to be known to individuals. They don't want to, they don't want you to see problems in itself. They don't want you to see problems in itself attached to, you know what I'm saying, a essence of people's shortcomings. Like, all right, yeah, you was gifted these things because you needed sanctuary, but because you're looking from the perspective of your own self gratification, you started a whole bunch of characteristics that shouldn't even existed in the place, and you follow these characteristics out by little projects and plan via Christianity and everything else. Let's run across. This is before people. Let's run across the country and kill, rape, and pillage. We can take some things back. We'll make them afraid of us. They'll think we have a God. That's why they did stuff. A place where people didn't even think to worry about any of these things happening or knowing what it is. And then the word gets back to people who are strong, who can form armies if they needed to. Anyway, distraction plays this role very good, you know what I'm saying? And there's a level of respect. My grandfather told me respect gets you a long way. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't understand that currency, I guess. But all praises. And it's sad to see people addicted, you know what I'm saying? Addicted to a false retrospective being just because it satisfies a reflection. Eye for an eye. Do them how they did you. Why would that even come into that as an understanding? Because you've never seen it done. Imagine people who are pure love and don't know anything else because they only received that from their creator was love. They were happy to be barefoot in the existence of what they are. And then all of a sudden you're being oppressed with values of some people just aggravate, So we're gonna do this. Put user here and timeout. Said, who am I talking to? I'm talking period, because I like to talk and drop and plant seeds. I'm a farmer. That's what I do. I plant seeds. Whoever come listen, they come listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't even matter. That's how prominent it is for me to be able to talk. But for the most part, like, that's that reason. You never, like, in the beginning, they never had that as a thing. They don't know what that was. And now it's like, now eye for an eye. Well, what is eye for an eye? What will we do? Do what they've done to you. So now that became a thing. We're talking about eons and eons ago, before books and Bibles was written. Now that's why it became a thing, because you didn't know what to do and you had to be shown. And only through the actions of what was being done to you was what you should do back to them. That's where eye for eye came from. But then it got to the point to where later in life, they started comprehending that this was how you were reaching out to the higher self, trying to get the understanding of how to deal with these things. So they knew you was reaching out. So they started creating false values. They'll say things like, I was chosen to speak for you. Divine didn't do that before it happened. Divine didn't do that before it happened. So why would it start doing it now? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be able to look at each and every little inference. And why would it change the digression? Like, why would it change the breakdown, right? Before, you would go to the divine and get direct knowledge. Now you go to the divine, somebody saying, here, let me read to you out of chapter this. Because they want to be the one you get your message from. They want to be the one to make you sit there and say, well, you know what? I'll turn the cheek, because before I reached out and we brought destruction, before we ended the whole war, because we reached out to the right individual. Now you don't know who to reach out to. Now you don't know how to contact what's inside of you. You got brothers making up names, talking about this, that, and the third. Everybody's lost on the knowledge, trying to find a way back to a feeling of security. And being secure within each other is weakness to some people because you can't match the same energy. Some souls are from that time when they had the feeling, right? The feeling of being told from a higher power what to do. So they don't feel it. That's why we be like, yo, I don't feel what you're talking about. I don't feel you. Shit crazy like that, yo. It get real deep, man. And I could go way, way more deeper. You know what I'm saying? I just hope you're getting the gist of what I'm trying to get across to you. There's nothing new under the sun, not even the way people are. And keep in mind, it was given to people too. You saw people acting like assholes and became an asshole. You saw people holding things back and started holding things back. You saw people treating people less than what it was supposed to be, and you walked away from what you were. It's a fact, yo. All praise due to the Most High, Naga the Wise.